Hey there, I'm Marissa.
And I'm Javier, and we are the co-founders of the Practice Revolution. In this short video, we wanted to share with you the resources that you have access to on this page here and introduce ourselves to you.
All right, so a quick recap of the resources that you'll find on this page. Number one, we have our Signature Solution Success Workbook. We have our Essential Pricing and Packaging Training. You will see a 4-week content calendar template, business basics checklist, a legal masterclass training, and resource number 6 is our productivity checklist.
Now, if you're here right now, guys, we get it, okay? You likely want to have flexibility with your schedule. You want to work from anywhere in the world or simply work whenever you want. You want to make more money, and most importantly, you want to feel fulfilled, knowing that you're making a difference. So how do we know this?
We were in your shoes, guys.
We were in your shoes.
So, like I said before, my name is Marissa. I'm a registered dietitian, and I've been a dietitian since 2015. And when I started off in college, I had always dreamed of having my own private practice, but my professors basically laughed in my face and told me it would never happen and to just get a job in clinical instead. And so that's exactly what I did when I graduated. And although clinical was great, I had a great learning experience, I had a great boss, amazing coworkers. At the end of the day, I just didn't see myself there until retirement, sitting in that cubicle. And a couple years into being a clinical dietitian, I was already feeling burnt out. The work was becoming mundane. I felt like I wasn't really making a difference, and the staff didn't value our work or understand what we did. I was often called lunch lady, and at times I felt like that when I was just simply handing out Ensure shakes all day. And to top it all off, we got some pretty sad bonuses. For one Christmas or one holiday bonus, I got a $27 check, which barely covered the gas that it took me to get to work. And then the next holiday bonus, the next year, I got a lunchbox that was filled with Lay's potato chips. So definitely feeling undervalued at that role. And I knew that I had to do something different. I knew that something had to change, and I knew that I could not stay there until retirement. And at the time, I thought the answer was go back to school, get more education, get more certifications to help me fulfill my dream of opening up my private practice. And so that's exactly what I did. Went back to school, got my master's degree in sports nutrition while I was working full-time as a clinical dietitian. So to say that my plate was full was an understatement. But even after graduating with my master's degree in sports nutrition, I still found myself working as a clinical dietitian with no increase in pay. And going back to school to get more education still did not give me the skills that I needed or the confidence to grow my private practice. Now, throughout this time of working as a clinical dietitian and getting my master's degree, I was taking on a couple clients on the side, more as like a side hustle. And I was helping them with their nutrition, but I couldn't figure out how to grow my side hustle enough so that I could quit my job as a clinical dietitian. And at that point, I had been working in the hospital setting for a couple years now. I had my master's degree, and my little side hustle that I was building was not taking off. And I said to myself, something has to change. And that's when I decided to invest in business mentorship, and that's when things really started to take off for me. Just a year later, just a year after investing in that business mentorship, I was able to leave my job, so quit my 9-to-5, move to a brand new city, and build my practice from the ground up.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Javier Carlin, like I said earlier, and for me, I always wanted a secure and stable career that paid well and made me feel like I was making a difference. So I did what I was told my entire life. I went to school, I got good grades, I went off to get my doctorate, and I received my doctorate in physical therapy back in 2017. Now, as it turns out, as I was going through my internships, everything that I wanted and the ability to help people and feel fulfilled, that was just not the case. Okay, and the reason I found this out was I was listening to and I was hearing my clinical instructors and staff members that were working at these different internships constantly complaining about how they were undervalued and unfulfilled and underpaid. And, initially I thought, well, it can't be all this bad, but I did hear it time and time and time again. So the writing was on the wall and I couldn't ignore it. Now, I'm 3 years in, $100,000 in student loan debt, and at that point I had no choice but to finish. However, I did start to realize that I needed to do something different than everyone else was doing, than my colleagues were doing. Otherwise, I was going to end up just like everyone else. And so that's when I started to do some research. I started to search for people, much like you are doing now, who had what I wanted, who had the flexibility, the freedom, the family time, and the financial freedom that I was looking for. So in that moment, I realized that it was possible to get to the destination that I wanted to get to. I just needed a new vehicle. And that vehicle, I then came to learn, was called business. So at that point, I had no idea what business was. I had no skill set in business. I decided to hire my first business mentor. I took in all this new knowledge, developed my skills, and ended up opening up a private practice. And that's when we started to see things shift. That's when the success started to happen. So now what we're simply doing with you is we're sharing all of those lessons with you. Since then, we've been featured on ABC Action News, on Success Magazine, Forbes Business Council. We've been on the Tampa Bay Morning Blend, and we've even hosted our own conferences for dietitians and nutrition professionals in business. So you might be thinking at this point, how are you guys different than probably every single other person that you're currently watching or know about on social media? Like, why is this different? And there are two reasons why this is different, okay? Number one is that we aren't just teaching you theory. As you can see from these photos, we have done everything that we're about to teach you. And we've done this both online, like in-person, brick and mortar, and offline as well. Now, and we've done this in multiple industries, right? We've done this in healthcare and in business. So we know that all of this works. And like I mentioned earlier, we've done this online using digital marketing, different social media platforms, and in person with local networking and community outreach. So that's reason number one, okay? Reason number two is that there are a lot of teachers out there right now who haven't actually done the work or who know how to actually transfer their knowledge to you. Think about it. Aren't there teachers who you've had in the past who were super smart, but you didn't learn anything from, right? Now, this is where we're also different. We're not just great at doing this and doing this for ourselves, we're also able to help our clients have successful launches in business as well, because we know how to transfer our knowledge to you. Make sense? So as you can see through some of these photos here, right, these are just a few of the clients that we've worked with that have gotten great results just like we have. And here are some more with some of the awards that we've given them and even more. These are all awards that we've given to our clients at one of our events, okay? Now, the really cool thing about all of this is that, yes, even students can do this too. So if you are a student and you've been thinking about starting your own business, guess what? You can do this. If you're not a student and you're already certified, you already have your degree, guess what? You are in a position where you can definitely do this as well. You have the experience, you have the knowledge, you have what it takes to help people today. This is an example here of one of our clients, Fiona, who is a student, okay, and literally 2 to 3 weeks into working together, she was able to land her first 2 clients, and she's had continued success after that. And now, here is the common denominator with everyone that we've showed you and what we've been able to do as well. Okay, after all of those years, we've been able to narrow it down to a simple system. Okay, we've done the mistakes after all this trial and error. we've been able to create this simple system, which we call our 5-step freedom formula, okay? And it's with this 5-step freedom formula that we've been able to achieve the success that we've had in multiple businesses, and that our clients have been able to do the same. Like Julie here, okay? Julie is a RD and a personal trainer. She's a mom of 2, and in 8 months, she was able to start to gain consistent clients and already make over $40,000 in her business.
This is Amanda here. Amanda is a registered dietitian and mom of 2 as well. She was actually working at the VA and building her business on the side. And through our Freedom Formula, we were able to help her grow her business by 299%. And because of that, she was able to quit her job at the VA and, most importantly, spend more time with her family. And she feels so fulfilled and absolutely loves the work that she does.
And this is Helen. Helen is an RD in Canada. In less than a year of being in business, she was able to generate $83,000 and quit her job. And this all stemmed from a conversation that she had with myself and Marissa at one of our coaching sessions.
And we have Greer. Greer is a dietitian, a mom of 2, and while working her full-time job, she was able to build her part-time practice to 6 figures in less than 10 months using our Freedom Formula.
Now, what's the common factor? The common factor here is twofold. Number 1, they've used our Freedom Formula and put that into action. And number 2, they've tapped into our network and have received the support of our amazing community. I want you to remember this. You do not and should not have to do this alone. And hopefully we can invite you to our community as well soon.